Friday can't get here soon enough, because on Saturday, January 25th, we are going to see a very good card that'll be broadcast once again on DAZN from Las Vegas, as super middleweights Diego Pacheco and Steven So Cold Nelson face off in a bill of double headers, where we'll also see Andy Cruz take on Omar Salcedo. This is a card that is going to be a fight fans card. We can talk about what's expected, but let's get into the nitty and the gritty about how boxing is really coming together now, with more competitive fights, and also with the opportunity for fighters to stake a claim at legitimacy. I've been talking about that a lot lately, and 2025 is going to bring more of that to us. So let's talk about Pacheco versus Nelson. When you talk about competitive matches, you can look forward to this Saturday, January 25th, when we see the card for Diego Pacheco taking on Steven So Cold Nelson. I like the fact that we're getting more of these type of bouts, and I love digging my teeth into fighters that are not always getting the highlight. But when you watch their matches, the matches become highlights. So this is an opportunity for both men to really set themselves apart as they get ready to face one another. Now, when you talk about Pacheco, he has been on an upward trajectory. He's only 23 years of age, but the 6'4" super middleweight is an orthodox fighter with a 79-inch reach, and he's out of Renton, Washington, fighting, but born in Los Angeles, California. Mexican-American, 22-0 with 18 KOs. Pacheco is really a hot one to watch. I did a video on him a couple of years ago saying he was one to watch. And when he gets in there on Saturday, he's going to be looking to be that next man up to fill that void that has already been vacated by young fighters that tried to make that move, like Jaime Munguia or Edgar Berlanga. But this young man is definitely a serious threat for new title holder. But not so fast, because as he gets ready for the fight, his opponent, Steven So Cold Nelson, may have something to say about that. You see, Nelson, he's an elder statesman. He had a little time away from boxing, but at the age of 36, he's still 20-0 with 16 KOs and has his eyes on the prize as well. We're looking at a man who is 5'10" with a 75.5-inch reach, and he's fighting out of Omaha, Nebraska. We know who else is from Nebraska: Terrence Bud Crawford. And he fights out of the same gym. He's a dedicated fighter. Though he may be a little more advanced in the age department, he is definitely one to pay attention to. So Cold is an intense fighter. He punches and works his way on the inside, and he breaks fighters down. Pacheco is a good inside fighter as well as a guy who can box from range. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens when these two men come together. Now, also on the card, we're going to see another fighter who we haven't seen enough of, because his record speaks of he needs to be more active. But his ability speaks of he should be world class. And we're talking about former Olympic standout Andy Cruz. Cruz is a fighter that can really box. He's a nemesis of the likes of Keyshawn Davis from the amateurs, but he's been on a slower trajectory with his career. And as he enters this fight Saturday, he's 4-0 with 2 KOs. We would like to see much more of him fighting out of Miami, Florida. This Cuban is touted as age 29. He's 5'9". He can box, and he's an orthodox fighter who has good crisp punches, and we really should see more of him, but he's just been on a slow trajectory here. I'm not certain if it's about management. I'm not certain if it's about how he's promoted. I'm not certain if it's about his real desire, because he should be a lot more busy than he is. But he's a darn good fighter, and the man that he's taking on, Omar Salcido, is a guy who got this opportunity. His record of 20-1, 14 KOs. He's hopped into this picture because Salcido took on a guy that we all know, and that was Chris Colbert, where he stopped Colbert in a spirited effort that was broadcast on ProBox TV. You see, Salcido, nicknamed Super, is 25 years of age, and he's coming out of Sonora, Mexico. He's 5'7", orthodox fighter, and he has a spirit in him of desire to compete. And when he took on Colbert, what we noticed back in October of 24, he came after Colbert. Colbert was trying to box, be relaxed and everything, but Salcedo was right on top of him, took a lot away from him, and gave him more than what he was expecting. And Colbert's corner was asking him in between rounds, "You sure you want this? You want to? I'll give you a couple more rounds to get out there." Listen, Salcedo seized the opportunity with one of the upsets of the year and a 9th round stoppage of Chris Colbert. So when he comes into this fight, Andy Cruz had better be on point, because this young man has momentum behind him and he's looking to go for it. So as we look at this card, all of the fighters that are on the card for Saturday, January 25th, are there to be competitive, and they're there to provide separation and legitimacy. Again, there's that word, because that will allow them to work toward legacy. And in doing that, they can please the entire boxing public. But what do you think? I believe it's gonna be a banger that we shouldn't miss. This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know your thoughts about this card and what you expect to happen when it takes place. Leave comments and let's discuss further. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.